Let's talk about fraction. Fraction is a numerator divided by denominator. If you look down a little bit, I have a red fraction bar. So red fraction bar is basically a line. So we have a fraction bar right in the middle that separate the numerator and the denominator. So basically you have a line right in the middle, a number above the line, a number below the line. The number above we call that the numerator, the number below we call that denominator. If you look to your right on the screen, so you see that there are three fractions. The first one is 1 over 4. So how do you represent 1 over 4 using a picture? So to represent 1 over 4 using a picture, so 4 means I divide one object into 4 pieces. All right, okay? So the 4 in the denominator means I divide one object into 4 equal pieces. The 1 on top means I grab one of the 4 pieces, so that is 1 over 4. And then the 3 over 4, I divide one object into 4 pieces and I grab 3 of them, so that is 3 over 4. And then the 4 over 4 is I divide one object into 4 equal pieces and I want to get all 4 of them. So since you get all 4 of them, that means you get the entire object, right? Yes, you're right. How do you show that you get the entire object? Basically, you get a 1. So to the 1 is here is how we get the 1. So if you take the numerator divided by the denominator, so if you take 4 divided by 4, that is equals to 1. The 1 means I grab the entire object. So if you take the 1 divided by 4, that is equals to 0.25, or you can call a quarter. So that means I only take a quarter of the entire object. Consider the square as $1. So 1 over 4 means a 25 cents, which is a quarter of $1. And then 3 over 4, 3 divided by 4 is equals to 0.75. That means 3 quarters. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper. So in the next picture, I have a 2 over 4. How do you show 2 over 4? So 2 over 4 is I divide one object into 4 equal pieces and I want to grab 2 of them. So since you grab 2 pieces, that means you grab half of it, right? So if you take 2 divided by 4, so 2 divided by 4 is equals to what? 2 divided by 4 is equals to 0.5. 0.5 means half, right? How do you get the half? I said 0.5 is the same thing as half. Where is half? Half means 1 over 2. You divide one object into 2 pieces and you get half of it. So to get the half, so here is the math that you have to do. So you start at 2 over 4. As long as you divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, so that is equals to 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 means you divide an object into 2 pieces. How's that? If I erase this, okay, looks like I have to draw another picture right here. So I have one object. Okay, I divide the object into 2 pieces. So 1/2, right? I'm trying to show you the 1/2 using a picture. I divide the entire object into 2 pieces and then I grab 1. So that is the same thing as 2 over 4. So if you divide the top and bottom by 2, you did not change the quantity. You only change the outlook of the fraction. All right. Again, if you divide the top and bottom by the same value, you didn't change the quantity. You only change the outlook of the fraction. So the 2 over 4, so you have 4 pieces and then you grab 2 of them. All right, so let's take a look at the picture below the 2 over 4. So starting at 2 over 4, what if I multiply the top and bottom by the same number? So as you can see, I multiply the top by 2 and then I multiply the bottom by 2. What do I get? 2 times 2 on top is equals to 4. 4 times 2 is equals to 8. So that means I cut one object into 8 pieces. I want to grab 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is the same thing as getting half of the entire object, right? Take a look. So you have 8. You divide a birthday cake into 8 pieces. You grab 4 of them. That means you grab half of the cake, right? So if you take 4 divided by 8, that is equals to 0.5. Another way to look at this is you have 4 over 8. If you divide the top and bottom by 2, then you get if you divide the top and bottom by 4, 4 divided by 4 is equals to 1. 8 divided by 4 is equals to 2. So that means 1/2, right? So a picture to represent the 1/2 is you have this. You cut this cake into 2 pieces and then you take one of it. So back to the orange picture, the 4/8, the 1/2 is, you have this, right? So that is the same thing as you cut that into 4 pieces and then you grab 2. So that is the same thing as 1/2, because you divide the top and bottom by 2, then you get 1/2. Okay, so the theory that we just learned is, as long as you multiply the top and bottom by the same number, the quantity won't change. As long as you divide the top and bottom by the same number, the quantity won't change. You only change the outlook of the function. All right? So that means, looks like you divide a cake into 8 pieces, you grab 4 of them, which is the same thing as you eat half of the cake. Okay? So let's finish the picture. So we have one more. So we have 6/8. So that means we cut a cake into 8 pieces. I grab 6 of them. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is 6/8. How do you go from 6/8 to 3/4? So easy. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4, right? So 6 divided by 2, you get a 3, 8 divided by 2, you get a 4. That means you cut this cake into 4 pieces. So we should take a look at this picture right here. You cut a cake, the same cake, same size, into 4 pieces. You grab 3 of it. So this one and this one, you just grab the same thing, right? The only difference is, for the picture on the left, you subdivide these 3 big pieces into little pieces. So this one, the 3/4, is just this. Actually, I should go this way. This one, this one, this one, this one, and these 2. So let's compare this picture and this picture. Okay, so the fractions, they look the same because you change the outlook, but you grab the same amount of cake. Okay, so let's go to the next stage for a fraction in the form n/d or n divided by d. So when you write a fraction, the 1/2, you can write 1/2 or you can write 1/2. They are both a fraction, all right? Where d is not equals to 0, because if you have something like 2/0, this is nothing. You cannot have 2 divided by 0. That is undivided. 0 can never be the divisor. We can reduce the fraction. So it looks like the purpose is, I am trying to show you how to reduce a fraction to the lowest term by the following steps. I know this is all about reading. Usually it won't make too much sense at the first glance. So step 1 is, you determine the greatest common factor for numerator n and denominator d. It's all right, let's read this anyway. I will show you how to do it, because in a math class, you have to do the work. You cannot read the work. Math, you cannot read math. You have to do math. Number 2, factor the numerator and the denominator so that one of the factors is the greatest common factor. Cancel the greatest common factor from the numerator and denominator. And the last step, the result is the fraction reduced in the lowest term. This is not hard. So don't worry about the step 1 to step 4. So here is how I do it. So usually you start with big numbers like 120/300, right? So when I was doing this, here is my method. If you have your own method, feel free to follow that. Different people have different procedure, but everybody will get the same result. All right, it depends on how you think, what your number sense is. Your number sense and my number sense, they are not the same, right? So we go different path, but we will meet at the same destination. So 120/300. So my number sense tells me the 120 and the 300, they both end with a 0, so they are the multiple of 10. So I'm going to proceed to the next step. I'll write a longer fraction bar. 120 is equals to 12 times 10, and then 300 is equals to 30 times 10. So since they both have 10 up top and bottom, then that means we can divide the top and bottom by 10. So if you divide the top and bottom by 10, 10 divided by 10 is 1, so you only have a 12 on top. And then the bottom, 10 divided by 10 is 1, so you only have a 30 in the bottom. And other way to say this is you divide the top and bottom by 10, which means you cancel the 10. All right. So now from 120 and 300, we just reduce the number. We are trying to do this to reduce the number so we can, the steps are getting easier and easier. So 12, how do you break down the 12? The 12 we can break it down into 3 times 4. The 30 we can break it down into 3 times 10. And then you divide the top and bottom by 3. So you only have 4 over 10, and then 4 over 10, 4 is 2 times 2, 10 is 2 times 5, so you can divide the top and bottom by 2, so you have 2 over 5. Okay, now here is what some people might say. Okay, they say, all right, I have 120 divided by 300, right? That is the given problem. Okay, someone might say, okay, my number sense is so good, I am going to divide the top and bottom by 60. Then that gives me 2 over 5. Is that okay? The answer is absolutely. So if you are able to do this, that means your number sense is good. You are able to handle large numbers like this, then just go ahead and do it. Okay? So it really depends on your number sense. It depends on how you think and how I think. So as in a teacher's perspective, I have to break it down into little pieces so you can understand in one take, right? So one problem is never enough. Let's practice this. So I gave you 4 fractions right here. I want you to reduce them to the lowest term. So the first one is 52 divided by 80. Again, we have different number sense, but we will end up at the same point. So 52 and 80, they are even numbers. That tells me they are the multiple of 2. So 52 is equals to 2 times 26. 80 is equals to 2 times 40. The reason I use a 2 is because they are both even. Even means they are the multiple of 2. So since you get rid of the 2, divide the top and bottom by 2, then you have 26 over 40, right? They are still even. Okay, so 26 is 2 times 13, and then 40 is 2 times 40, and then you divide the top and bottom by 2 again, so you have 13. Oh, sorry, I was doing this too fast. 40 is the same thing as 2 times 20, so this is 13 over 20, and 13 is a prime number, so 13 is a prime number. What is a prime number? Prime number is 13, is the multiple of 1 and itself. That is a prime number. There is no other factors. It's 1 times itself. But 20 is not a prime because 20 can be written as 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. You can think about something other than 1 times itself. So, and 13 is not a multiple of 20, so I know that is the lowest term. And then the next one, 21 divided by 66. So they are the multiple of 3. How do I know they are the multiple of 3? 21 and 66. Because 2 times 1, the 21, you add those 2 digits. 2 plus 1 is equals to 3. So 3 is a multiple of 3, then 21 is a multiple of 3. So that is 3 times 7. 6 plus 6 is equals to 12. It's a multiple of 3. So that means 36 is divisible by 3. So that is 3 times 22. And then you divide the top and bottom by 3. Then you have a 7 over 22. That's it. That's the lowest term. And then the next one, 159 over 42. So they are the multiple of 3. 4 times 2 is 6. 6 is a multiple of 3, so that is 3 times 14. 159, 1 plus 5 plus 9, that is 15, multiple of 3. So that is 3 times 53. And then you divide the top and bottom by 2, that is 53 divided by 14. Alright, last one, 84 over 70. So 84 is an even number. So that is a multiple of 2, so that is 2 times 42. If you cannot think of 2 times 42, when I was learning this many years ago, I grab a calculator and then type 42 divided by 2. That helps you a little bit. But as you do more and more practice, you won't need the calculator, just in case you need one, right? 70 is 2 times 35, so if you divide the top and bottom by 2, then you have 42 divided by 35. So 42 is 6 times 7. 35 is 7 times 5. So you can now divide the top and bottom by 7. Then you have 6 over 5. So that is the lowest term. All right. Okay, so that is the end of this lesson. If you think my instruction is helpful, let me know in the comment section below. So smash the like for me. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. I will see you all in the next one. Signing out for now.